Today we're gonna be stocking the outdoor saltwater mini pond with tons of exotic fish and invertebrates. We're doing a full-blown stocking today because I know you guys love these videos. Now in these buckets, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have our big styrofoam box in the corner over there, which has the special mystery fish, is what we're gonna reveal at the end of the video. That's our biggest fish of the day, which is over in that styrofoam little cooler over there, and he's in there for a reason because he is a big boy. So you guys will see him at the end of the video. So let's get into bucket number 1 and see what we got. Now, as you guys can see, you can clearly see the pond has been rescaped and redone. It looks fantastic. It's crystal clear in there. There's no algae. The rock structure looks really, really good. I made it like this instead of that S pattern. I made it just a simple centerpiece, which looks really, really good. But you can also notice there's no fish swimming around in this pond. You may be asking yourself, why is there no fish in here? Well, the reason why there's no fish in the pond is because last week, some of you guys do not know if you don't live in Florida, we had that terrible storm in Florida, and it just so happened to hit the hardest in Fort Lauderdale, which is right where I am, and we got 25 inches of rain in 2-day span. We got a third of the year's rain in 2 days. That is just absolutely insane. This was a 1 in 1,000 chance of happening. That's what I saw on the news. It was like a 0.01% chance of this happening, and it happened. In 1 day, in 2 days, we got 25 inches of rain, and that just absolutely destroyed everything. Everything was flooded. The canal still is not even recovered. It's been a week. The water is so brown, and there was so much rain that was getting into this pond. I thought it was perfectly fine because it has rained, obviously, before, and nothing has happened to the pond. The sunlight gets in it, but it's underneath this pergola, so I thought it was perfectly fine. But we had so much rain that the top of this was filling up, went into this fan, filled this entire fan in, and was continuously dripping into this pond. And I did not realize until the second day of rain. So day 1 of rain happens, we get an insane amount of rain, the water is dripping into the pond, and then I had to do an emergency rain evacuation of all of the fish. So I got in here, I scooped up all the fish, all the remaining fish that were in here. Of course, all the native fish survived. The sergeant majors, the glass minnows, all of them, like nothing happened. They're just like as strong as ox. So I scooped those guys out immediately. They were super easy to catch. Then I started searching for the invertebrates. I started searching for all the inverts that I could find, and I scooped all those guys out. And I scooped as many surviving fish as possible and had to rush them over to the tank in my room. The one that I just showed you guys in my last video. I had to rush all the fish and put them in there. So while all the fish are in my tank, I had to once again redo the scape, do a big water change, and make sure the water was all good and okay, and I haven't added any of the fish back in yet. So you will see some familiar faces in this video, but we're just gonna do 1 bucket of those guys, and we're gonna put the ones that are in the tank slowly back into the pond. So I'm not gonna scoop all them out and put them all in here. Like the clownfish, for example, I'm gonna leave in my tank because I have a very special plan for the clownfish. I actually have 1 clownfish that you guys will see, that you guys have seen already, but the big group of clownfish, I'm gonna leave in my tank because I may or may not be setting up a new pond in the garage that I may want specifically for clownfish. I don't know. So I'm leaving those guys in the tank. We're not gonna be adding them. In regards to the losses, we had pretty substantial losses in terms of monetary value, which is just terrible. It sucks. The purple tang, my favorite prized fish, did not make it. He was literally the first one I saw. My heart dropped. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting out there and scooping all the fish. So we did have some casualties in the pond, but a lot of the fish I was able to scoop out and put in the tank. So we're gonna slowly add the fish we had in before and new fish back into the pond, back into the ecosystem, and it'll look as good as new in no time, but we're gonna do it slowly. I'm not gonna throw all those fish in there and the new ones I got today. We're gonna just do it over a period of time, and I'll make sure to video it. So let's get into our bucket number 1, which is some fan favorites. That's why I picked this bucket. That's why I scooped these fish out of the tank, because these are some of the fan favorites that you guys really enjoy. This is the firefish, the foxface, and the clownfish, the bright white and orange clownfish that you guys loved. I feel like these are the 3 favorites in the tank right now, and I was gonna add these guys first from there, and it's just a great pairing. Look at them in there, just swimming around, around, looking great. They all have great, unique colors. We got the Superstorm Clown, which looks absolutely insane, bright white and orange. He's gonna be the king clownfish in this pond. I want him to get really big in this pond, be a king clownfish, and he's gonna take over. And then once we get that other mini pond up and running, I'll tell you what we're gonna do with the clownfish, including this guy. But for now, I wanna see him swim around the outdoor pond. And then of course we have our firefish, which you guys know and love. You guys absolutely love this firefish. He's super cool, that bright yellow, purple, and pink firefish, which is honestly one of the best fish to have. I absolutely love firefish. They're so sick, they're brightly colored, and they're super hardy. I absolutely love these guys. I may just have to load up in this pond and get a bunch more of these guys. And then we have our foxface tang, which you guys love when I hold this guy because you think I'm always gonna get stung by them, because they are venomous and it does hurt a lot, but he's my friend and I'm his friend, and he doesn't care to prick me with his spines. He's a really cool fish and he's been doing awesome, whether it's here or in the tank. He's been just absolutely thriving and eating like a champ, and I cannot wait to see these 3 fish back in the pond. So let's get them in there. All right, so let's get these guys in one at a time, and I think we're gonna start with the clownfish right here. He's a go-to, he's a keeper, but I hate when they all swim right by the fox face because his spines, and I do not want to get stung by him. That would really hurt. So they all take refuge right behind the fox face. But let's get the storm clown in first because he's just so cool. I absolutely love this fish. He's the first one to go in. We have so many fish to put in this pond today, it's actually crazy. Let's get our awesome little storm clown in the pond. Let's go. He's sick in here. Let's go. So we're gonna keep a sharp eye on all the fish that go in, but he just looks amazing. He pops so bright in this pond. And the pond is looking really, really good. Considering everything that has happened, all the stress I've had to endure over the last week, the pond is looking really good, and it's gonna look just like it was in no time. And a Superstorm Clown is around $100. Next fish, let's do the firefish. Let's do the firefish. These guys got serious spunk, but this is his home. He absolutely loves this pond. Yeah, he did not like the tank. He was doing fine in there, but I just feel like he was thriving in this pond. So it's good to see him going back in there. And this firefish right here, I think I got a deal on this guy because he was about $40. That must be a deal. And last but not least, we got our fox face here. So let's get him in the pond. And like always, these guys are super ugly looking when you first pick them up and first put them in the pond, but they brighten up super yellow very quickly. So, and he is in the pond. So we have our first fish out of the pond, which were already in here, except the clownfish, but the other 2 were in here already, and they're back where they belong. And the fox face right here that I got, this one was about $50. I also forgot to mention I added the fan favorite invertebrate yesterday. I didn't film it on this camera. I filmed it on my phone. I added the fan favorite purple lobster back to the pond. I actually scooped him out when I saw all the rain happening. He was the first invertebrate I looked for because he is so freaking cool, so special, this lobster here. So that's the first guy I looked for when I came out to scoop everything out. So I finally got to add him back yesterday on my phone, and he looks amazing. He actually pinched me when I was putting him in, and he got me pretty good. But that is one really, really cool lobster. So he's in there somewhere, and he's probably right under this rock because that's where he was last time. That's his home, right under this big rock. Now we are getting into bucket number 2, which is another awesome fish that we have yet to add to this pond. We've never gotten one before on this channel, but these are one of the coolest, best fish to have in any aquarium. If you guys are just starting out a fish tank, these guys are great to put in there because they are super hardy and they're amazing, amazing fish. You're definitely paying for a really good fish that's gonna last you a while. This is a hawkfish right here. He is bright pink. He's a bright pink hawkfish, and he is extremely, extremely cool. That vibrant color, and they're very active. They also love to crawl around all the rocks like literal crabs. They crawl around the rocks. They swim, but most of the time they're perched up on that rock waiting for some food to float down their way. So he's gonna look really cool in this pond because he'll be jumping from rock to rock, and we'll be able to point him out and pick him out easily. We can see him from a mile away, especially with that bright pink color. He looks really cool. So let's go ahead and get him in the pond. So let's go ahead and get this guy out. These guys are super fast, super frisky and fast, super frisky and fast. Like they will jump right out of your hand. So let's get this guy. Look at that. That right there, my friends, is a beautiful fish. So let's go ahead and get him into the pond and see where he goes. Oh, he darted in the corner. Darted off to the corner. He darted off in the corner because he's obviously a little skittish. This is his first time being in the pond, but I'm sure he's gonna find those rocks and immediately want to go right to those rocks. Let's see if we can get him over there. Go on, buddy. Nope, he wants to, I'm telling you, every time, guys, every time I add fish, they always want to stay on the outskirts first until they realize the rocks are safe. We should probably go to the rocks. So let's let him chill, and eventually he'll swim over right to those rocks. And this pink hawkfish was around $70. Now, before we get into the next bucket, remember my channel memberships are open. So if you guys want to show me some love, if you want to support the channel, help keep me making videos, go ahead and join the channel to get access to exclusive badges down in the comments and exclusive extra videos every single week. I've already posted a couple fishing videos, a travel vlog video. We're having a ton of fun on the members only videos. So if you guys want to support, if you guys want to see some extra content, go down, click that join button and become a channel member. Let's get into our next bucket. Next bucket is going to be the invertebrate bucket. This bucket right here has the only invertebrates of the day, and they are extremely, extremely cool. We have, first one is a bright red starfish. This is the big one, a bigger one than I'm usually getting. I think this is a different kind than the first red starfish we got. This one's much bigger and much more vibrant. This is the biggest red starfish I've seen, just bright orange like this, orangish red. It's the biggest one I've seen at the store. So I had to get him because you guys love the big red starfish, and he's gonna be a great addition to the pond. And of course, when I see a starfish this big, you just have to pull trigger on it. You have to pull trigger on a starfish this big. Anytime I see a big starfish, I'm always like, I'm getting that guy. So let's go ahead and get him in. All right, here's our starfish going in the pond. What is he doing with the tips of his arms there? He's like, you know, give me knuckles or something. Very cool starfish, and we're gonna set him right in the middle of the pond, right on this big rock here. That's where he's gonna go. Right there. So that's our first invertebrate of the day, and we also have another invertebrate which is in the same bucket. Let's check them out. The next invertebrate in the bucket are these big giant red hermit crabs. They're so cool and unique, and they're like super active right now. He's going around like crazy. So these guys are bright red, they're super cool, and I actually got 3 of these guys. This is gonna be a great little cleanup crew for all the extra food that gets dropped in that the fish don't eat. These guys will scurry out right from underneath the rocks and eat all those scraps that I leave in the water. So these guys are perfect additions to the pond. I always love getting cleanup crews. It never hurts to get a cleanup crew for the pond. So we got 3 of them here. One's got a super dark shell, one's got a super light shell, and one's got a mixture of both shells, which is super cool. Did not plan that to happen. It just so happened to be that way. That's awesome, because we got 3 different unique ones. We can actually point out which is which when they actually go in the pond. We're gonna know which one is which. That's the dark one, that's the light one, and that's the mixture of in between. Very, very interesting. I did not plan for that. So let's go ahead and get these guys in the pond. We're just gonna grab them. Super easy to grab, not like fish, but you can see their claws sticking right out of their little shells there. Bright red claws sticking out of the shells there, and these guys are gonna be just awesome for the pond. I've always loved getting hermit crabs, especially just any invertebrate I absolutely love. So that's the invertebrate bucket going in the pond. Let's put them right on the sand here. 1, 2, and 3. And they're probably gonna scurry super quick when they realize that they are home. All right, it's been about 2 seconds since we added them in the pond, and they're already scurrying around. Already, he's like, I'm gonna go find a rock to chill at. That's so cool. I love red hermit crabs. All right, there's our little red hermit crabs in the pond. That's our invertebrates. So that's the theme for the invertebrates, was red. We got red hermit crabs and a red starfish. So as far as the invertebrate bucket goes, the starfish was about $30, and those hermit crabs were $10 for 3 of them. So $3 each, that is a good deal. And now that we added our invertebrates to the pond, let me know if you guys are enjoying this video and if you want to see more videos like this by dropping a like on this video. If this video gets like 3,000 likes, we'll go ahead and do another awesome stocking video. So drop a like, let's get into our next bucket. Now on to our next bucket here. This is gonna blow your mind. This is the most expensive fish of the day. This is the most expensive fish of the day, and he was $150. $150. Now I don't know exactly how to pronounce the name, but it's a hellfritchie firefish. It's some very rare firefish because it has a super unique color pattern. Pink, purple, yellow, has purple eyes, a bright yellow face, super yellow tail, like a neon green tail. Super cool firefish. I think this is the coolest firefish you can absolutely buy. And when I saw him, I was like, I need to get these guys because I want to add to my firefish collection. These guys are some of the coolest fish. They're such good eaters in the pond. They always eat. Every time I throw food in there, they're the first ones to go right after that food. So you always know that they're gonna stay healthy, they're gonna do well in the pond. Some of the best fish you can buy are firefish. Now, especially this guy right here being $150, $150 firefish. I did not expect that at all. Clearly, these guys are super coveted and people love them because that is one insane looking fish. I don't think I've ever seen this much color on a single fish in my life. It's just absolutely gnarly. So let's go ahead and get our brand new firefish in the pond, who was $150, and he's gonna really enjoy seeing his friend in here because they're gonna be boys. Firefish love to school. So let's get our firefish in the pond. Look at the freaking speed on this guy. Speedy Magoo, dude. Speedy McGee. But the colors are just crazy. Some of the craziest colors ever. Look at that. Craziest colors ever. And we're gonna put him right into the pond. Look at this fish. Such a cool fish. Let's go. That's gotta be my favorite fish. Oh, he's right next to the other one. They're boys. Let's go, they're boys. They're freaking boys. I absolutely love that. They are boys, dude. Absolute homies. So they're right next to each other. They found a nice little cave to hide at. The starfish, by the way, has crawled all the way on this rock, all the way on the left side of the pond to that rock. So as you can see, everything is getting comfortable already in the pond. The clownfish is swimming around. The firefish are right next to each other hanging out. It is a beautiful sight to see. Thank God that this pond is back. Now our grand finale fish of the day is actually not gonna be going in this pond. It's our biggest fish, but he's gonna be going in the new 1,000-gallon freshwater pond in the back of the house. The brand new pond that we just set up. This guy's a big boy and you guys are gonna love him. Let's check him out. So follow me, ladies and gentlemen, and I will show you the big boy that we got for the big pond. So this guy right here is a giant rhino pleco. He's huge, absolutely huge. He's absolutely huge. He's giant. He's one of the coolest plecos. When I saw him at the store, I'm like, okay, that's a bang for your buck. This guy was $30, and at this size, you have to jump on plecos, especially because this pond is outside. This is my first freshwater pond outdoor at my house, so I always wanted to load this thing with plecos just so they eat all the algae in here, because obviously any pond's gonna grow algae, but that's why it's so great getting plecos, because they eat all the algae and they help clean up the pond and make it nice. And this guy can't even harm a minnow. And speaking of minnows, all the minnows are doing great in the pond. They're just absolutely thriving. So right now in this pond, we have a bunch of minnows and we have our brand new pleco. So let's go ahead and add him for the pond. All right, big boy. All right, big dude, here we go. Now he is frisky, and they're one of the weirdest fish ever. They're literally made of armor. They're made of straight armor. Once you get them out of the water, they they become stones. Look at that. Look at that fish. That is insane, dude. That is an insane fish. He's literally made of armor, bro. Armor. Feel that, Jack.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
That is so cool.
That is literally a knight right here. That's an armored fish. So let's go ahead and add him to the pond, because plecos are always great to have. There he goes. First big fish added to the pond. He's already sucked to the pond, and he's eating some algae already. He's already doing his job. I absolutely love to see that. Already getting to work, keeping the pond clean. He's gonna be the master cleaner of this aquarium, that's for sure. Now this right here was the original mini pond we attempted to set up. I still have not gotten rid of it because I've just been procrastinating it. Plus I've been waiting for my new pond to arrive. But we are gonna be setting up the new mini pond right here that's gonna look fantastic. It fills up this space perfectly, and it has an awesome window. So you guys are gonna have to wait with your notification bells turned on, because this pond build is gonna be awesome. I cannot wait to show you guys. And all the fish I have left in the tank, including the clownfish, I'm kind of waiting for this pond, because I think I wanna make this pond like my super rare aquarium fish. I know clownfish aren't rare, but they're gonna fill up the pond nice. My super coveted, really rare fish, I kind of want to put in here. So the more expensive stuff, like the powder blue tang, I'm leaving in the tank because I want to add him to this pond. I just think he's gonna look so cool in here, especially with the lighting that we're gonna get. So let me know what you guys think I should do with the clownfish. Should I put them all back into the OG pond, or should I just wait until we set up the new pond and throw them all in here? Because I think it's gonna look awesome, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. This should be arriving in the next week or so, so be ready for an epic build. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I had an absolute blast stocking the mini pond and slowly adding back to this aquarium. You guys will see in future videos as we add fish from the tank back into the pond. It's gonna look amazing. Again, this pond is recovering from the 25 inches of rain that struck. I mean, it was a madhouse. Me literally pouring down, soaking wet, scooping all the fish out in the middle of a storm. It was epic. Thank you guys for watching and supporting, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.